morning. Today, the last topic of the first part, that is the revolt of 1857, are also called the Sipai Mutiny, are also called the first war of independence. That is what the topic. And why not? Hereafter, we are in 1857 and after 1857. Even we discussed some of the peasant movement that took part even after 1857, Indigo Revolt, Deccan Uprising, Pabna movement. So, hereafter, though we are in last part of the part 1, we are actually in that after 1857, that is 1857 and afterwards. Okay, today we will discuss part 1 and as well as I will give part 2 also. Part 2 is much easy because part 2 history is just 90-year-old history. Normally a student would give more importance to part 2, that is 90-year-old history, 1857 to 1947. But part 1 is 1498 to 1857. It's almost 250 plus years old history. That's why it took this much of time. And while discussing about part 1, we simultaneously discussed some important things in medieval history. That's why part 1 would always take time. Part 2 is very easy. This week, that Monday onwards, continuously my classes are there. I will complete modern India. With that, by this Friday, completely I will finish the modern India. Then major part is over. Then you will have test. Already part 1 is over. Part 2 test will be there, including of 1857 revolt. Be prepared. Okay. So this week is the history week. Come along with me. Today we will discuss major aspect. So one is the revolt of 1847. Open the topic. So Sipai Mutiny or the first war of independence. This is also a revolt, like revolt of Kattaboman, or revolt of Diwan Veluthambi, or revolt of Rani Chennamma, or Santhal uprising, what we discussed earlier, right? Mundas likewise. But why do we study this 1857 revolt separately? That is important. So why not it's like a 10 plus 1 revolt? Why do we study and why do we give importance to this much? Since I said already, this modern India is not only for prelims but also for mains, including for optional. I said more analytical would be there with less factual because both for prelims as well as for mains. Okay, so here why this 1857 revolt is very important is simple. If you see Kattabomman revolted only in this area, a small in Tirunelveli Jilla. Santals revolted in Chota Nagpur region, Rajmahal Hills. Even if you see that Kukis revolted in Manipur region. These were isolated incidents. And area were very small, only a Jilla, otherwise a Pargana, otherwise a state, that's all. But if you see 1857 revolt, it almost the entire northern part of India with a few exemptions participated. So one, why do we study 1857 revolt and what's the significance of the revolt is this. Area wise, entire North India participated. Right, why not South participated? At last we will discuss. Okay, so a revolt is up to the Vindhyan Satpura range. Why South didn't participate? Already South participated early revolt. Kattabomman revolted, Veluthambi revolted. In Karnataka, Kittur uprising is there. Even if you can say 1857 Sipai Mutiny, even much before that in Vellore, 1806 itself, Vellore Mutiny took place. Here also Sipai Mutiny. Before 1857, much before that, in 1806 itself, at Vellore Fort, so many Sipais revolted against the British. So many early revolt took place in South. So British suppressed it and knew that Southerners would revolt. So we have to keep adequate force in South. That's why when 1857 revolt happened, that didn't percolate into the South since already adequate measures were taken by the British. That's the reason. Understood? So first is the entire northern part participated. One. Second thing is simple. When Kattabomman revolted, he never got support from Santals. When Santals revolted, they never got support from the Kugis. But in 1857 revolt, when Sipai revolted, Sipai got the support of common man. No, no doubt. It was first started by Sipai. It was started as a Sipai mutiny. Carefully listen. Started by Sipai mutiny. But the Sipai got the support of peasant. Peasant got the support of artisans. Artisans got the support of jamindars. Not all. Some jamindars. And even some jamindars got the support of ex-rulers. Keep it in mind. So, Justice Sipai, the Sipai got the support of this much of people. That's why it's mass level. Mass level mean Gandhian movement mass level, but much before that, 1857. So Sipai, though revolted at first, they got the support of all the people, almost all the people from the north. Not all, major people. That's the reason we are studying the 1857 revolt as a separate. So two reasons I have given. One is territorial extent, vast when compared to other. Second is Sipai revolted, but they got support from all the side. Second. Third reason, why do we study after 1857 revolt as separate? Significant is, again, when Santals revolted, nothing changed. Santals were suppressed and the company as such continued. When Kattabomman revolted around 1800, Kattabomman was killed, again company rule continued. But after 1857 revolt, company's rule in India was come to an end. That's the third significant. Note it down. Company's rule in India was come to an end. Then who started to rule? The crown. Crown. Okay, now you say that whether 1857 revolt was a successful one or failed one. Type whether 1857 revolt was a success or failed. It's a success. Commonly, a student would write it's a failed one. Wrong. Though it was suppressed. Keep it in mind. Though it was suppressed. But in preliminary, if the question is asked, you go by fact. What is the fact? It was a failed because it was suppressed. But in mains, interpretation wise, if the asked main, though the revolt was suppressed, right, it was a successful because against whom the Sipai and all fought is the company. At the end of the revolt, company rule was come to an end, and who started to rule is crown. So now you say this was a successful one. And why it is called first war of independence is, listen, what Gandhiji did, what Subhasji did is, these people, listen, removed the crown. British crown was replaced by Indian government of India. Listen, if crown was replaced, means this is nationalism. Means here who are the ruler? Company. Company was removed. That was also nationalism. That was also war of independence. It means that this is the first war of independence and this is the second war of independence. That's all. Understood? That's why, right, one person mentioned this as the first war of independence. Who used the term? First used the term first war of independence. This is preliminary question. Who was the first to use it? V.D. Savarkar. Write it. Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. In his book. So in his book, he is the first to use the word the first war of independence. This itself is a preliminary question. This much of information you should know. So why we are studying it as a separate one. Okay. Now you got an idea. With this we are going to discuss. So this is the framework. With this itself is a 10-mark question. Why 1857 revolt is significant? 150 words over. And in between that, Jhansi Rani and Beham Hasrat Mahal, Kunwar Singh. If you write one or two factual information, that's all over. Mangal Pandey, over. Your answer is complete. Understood? Okay. Now we are entering into the next is why. Why such a revolt, sir? Simple. Whatever the revolt mean, you have to use the word why. So next subtopic, open it, why. Why such a revolt? And draw this diagram, that is causes. Political, this is first, right? You draw like this. In each, I have to give 2 to 3 examples. That's all. This is a 10-mark question. Simple. 50% factual, that is for prelims. Remaining 50% pure analytical, that is for mains. Political, social, administrative, economic, military, and last is immediate cause. This is the sixth one. Okay, simple. So, what are all the political, social, economic cause? No need to learn any new thing. That too we already discussed. How did we discuss is, listen, simple. Here we are in 1857, right? What is the immediate cause? Yes, you all knew. Near the immediate cause, you note it down. Enfield rifle system. Introduction of Enfield rifle system with greased cartridge. With greased cartridge. GRE, greased, Enfield rifle system with greased cartridge. This is the immediate cause. If you studied in India up to 10th standard, definitely you should know, because up to 12th, 10th standard, all throughout Kashmir to Kanyakumari in social science, whether it is state board book or CBSE, you should have studied about this. This happened in 1856-57. Immediate cause is 1856-57. Okay, Enfield rifle system. Enfield means not that bullet. Okay, it was introduced like this rifle, modern rifle by 1856-57, and you have to bite the cartridge, and you have to put that gunpowder. Right, that is called cartridge. Right, the new rifle system once introduced. As per that, you have to bite the rifle, bite the cartridge. It was believed that, listen, it was believed that that cartridge, right, the cartridge, the Hindu believed that it was made of the fat of cow. The Muslim believed that fat of pig. So what both the soldiers consider? They are touching our religious sentiment. This is the immediate cause that took place in 1856-57. We are here. Under immediate cause, you have to write it. Taken? This is the immediate cause. But this is the only cause? No. Then what are all the causes is, from which year it took place mean you have to go back. You have to go back of 100 years back, 1757. So 1757 to 1857. 1757 to 1857. 1757, why Battle of Plassey? After Battle of Plassey only, gradually the British became the political power. So since Plassey and before just revolt, what are all the ugly nature of the company's rule that was there? At last, there is an outburst, immediate cause in the name of greased cartridge system. Okay, what are all the various causes between 1757 to 1857? That's what I have given. These are all the causes: political, social, administrative, economic, military. Immediate cause I have already given. I think up to this, no doubt. I hope you don't have any doubt at all. Okay, immediate cause I mentioned. Then what is the background? We have to go from political cause to so and so. Today is you have to answer. That's why last week, this week, Monday to Friday, I never have any classes of you. You should have thoroughly studied. If you studied and written the exam, test means this unit is nothing, very easy. Okay, next week, complete the modern India. That's all, over. Then it's very, very easy for you people. Okay, first open the topic, political causes. Political cause. What are all the political causes of 1857 revolt? Type. You have to answer. Next 10 to 15 minutes, I will just tell the topic. You have to answer what are all the political causes. Type one after another. Doctrine of lapse, good. Drain of wealth. Drain of wealth, economic cause, not political cause. What one? Annexation. Subsidiary alliance. Assessment. Excellent, excellent. Yeah. Mangal Pandey, yes. Tax is economy. Land revenue system, economic cost, not political cost. Annexation of Awadh, excellent. So what is political cost means? First thing, super, excellent. Right, we got answer of that's a flood. Am I right? It's like a flood, we got it. What is the first and foremost political cost? If you say revenue means economic cost, okay? What is the first is annexation. Annexation. Not just annexation, nasty annexation took place. Annexation. Annexation by means of what? Write it. With war, another is without war. One is with war, another is without war. The entire fifth unit, if you go through part 1, entire fifth unit, that is what? Okay? With war, without war. What is with war? You know, Karnataka, Plasi, Buxar, Mysore, lengthy we discussed. What are all the without war? That also we discussed. Doctrine of lapse, doctrine of good governance, subsidiary alliance, these are all without war. You see that just 2 lines or 3 lines I mentioned. If you wish to explain it, it will go for 50 pages because that biggest topic what I covered would come under this. So this is what the first thing, that is annexation, indiscriminate annexation. Okay. Because of annexation, who were the affected people? Is you do one thing, any of the margin, who were the affected people due to British is annexation, ex-ruler. Any of the margin, you open the box like this and you add how many people were affected due to the British Raj. It will go for list like this, 3, 4, it will go for like this. There is countless, innumerable people were affected because of the maladministration of the British. Got it? Yes. So here the first and foremost is ex-rulers. Why how ex-rulers were affected mean? I am the Raja. Earlier I had a pompous life, great darbar and economic expenses because I am the ruler. I took a great title, Raja Diraja, Raja Martanda, likewise. So I took a great title, but now what happened is I become the ex-ruler. Because why? My territory, my throne was taken over by the British. So first and foremost is annexation policy, hasty nasty annexation policy. That too, who was the hasty nasty annexationist means Wellesley, Lord Hastings, then Dalhousie. I have already given, we had sufficiently discussed. Okay, so the first political cause here is annexation. A is over. Okay, any other particular political cause is, you write, pension was not given. Pension issue. Note it down. Second political is pension. Yes, pension was not given to whom? Type. Pension was not given to whom? Yeah, Akbar pension was given. Pension was not Nana Sahib. Yes, exactly. Pension was given to Bajirao too. But yes, pension was not given to Nana Sahib. Note it down. That point we already discussed. If pension was not given to Nana Sahib means not only Nana Sahib. Nana Sahib belonged to Maratha. So Marathas got pension. So many Maratha and especially the supporter of the Peshwa and his adopted son, they got. So how could you ill treat our Maratha chief? British, we would fight. Okay, this is second pension issue. Third political is ill treatment of the Mughal ruler. British started to ill treat Mughal ruler, especially Shah Alam II, Akbar II, Bahadur Shah II. These were ill treated. Then who got agitated? Mean supporter of the Mughals. Write it. How could you ill treat our Shahin Shah? Note it down. These are all any of the margin you have to write. 2018 or 19. Recently, it's a mains question. GS mains question. 12.5 mark question or 10 mark question. The same thing. Yes, Mughal got agitated. So once upon a time, the great Shah Jahan, their family members, you ill-treated them. That's why the supporter of the Mughals were ready to agitate. These are all the political causes. Got it? And next, come to social causes. Social causes. Yes. What are all the social causes? Type. Abolition of Sadi, very good. Then, Widow Remarriage Act enacted. Western education system. Christian missionaries, good. Excellent. Excellent, yeah. That's all. So many people typed. So many people typed. Excellent, excellent. One by one, you write it. The first and foremost is racial discrimination, right? Racial discrimination. Actually, India was conquered by so many rulers, outsiders, but no outsider introduced racial discrimination like that of the British. Okay, Alexander period, Greek period, Saka, Kushanas, so many people, then Turks, then Mongols, Arabs. Am I right? So Huns, so many people. But what is the difference between other conqueror and India is, listen, when other conqueror, that is India means present day India we are thinking. That's why our narrowness is there. Am I right? In those days, India means up to Kyrgyzstan or up to beyond Afghanistan, India. Nowadays, in the name of narrow nationalism, are just confined to that India mean we even exclude Pakistan also. But before 1947, India mean Pakistan also, India mean Afghanistan also. That is also India. I am discussing before 1947. Right. So before 1947 sense, I am discussing of this racial discrimination. Okay, all consider India as my homeland. Even do you know, nowadays many are thinking that the Mughal were outsider. Let it be. When Babur came, he never took command and never returned back to his country. When Akbar came, he was born to Rajput and he died in India and he spent everything in India. Even Aurangzeb also, everything, he did it. Understood? But British were not like that. Do you know? When they got independence, they gave independence. No British people were ready to be there in India. Am I right? When Mongols were ready to be there, when Turkish were ready to be there, when Kushans, Greeks were ready to be there in India, why not the British people? Because of racial discrimination, black and white, supremacy of the whites, racial discrimination. So this is even today white color. Am I right? Even today, what we want, we people are going to be a beauty parlor. Want to become black color? No, want to become white. Why? Because of British impact. Because our superior were the white, so we want to imitate like them. That's all. This is what I used to say. Now, consider the scenario. Instead of the British, India, you consider this. Till 1947, India was ruled by Kenyan. Just imagine, black color people. Kenyans are superior, but black color people mean today our boys and girls would go to beauty parlor not to become white rather than to become black while coming out that full of black color. Understood? So racial discrimination, it affected in all. And the second is social legislature measure or social measures, you write, or social legislative measures, that's the right word, legislative measures. What are all social legislative measures? Abolition of sati, note it down. Abolition of sati, bringing of widow remarriages act, widow remarriages act, yes. These are all good. Yes, these are all good as considered by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. These are all good as considered by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. But the so-called Orthodox community is there, both in Hinduism and Islam. Who are the bloody British? Who are them to abolish sati? Who are them to introduce remarriage? It is up to me. This is my customs. Who are them? Even today, if government wanted to do something, mean immediately, who are they to do? Right? It should come from my religion. It should come from my caste. Who are you to do? Even today also so many things are there. Even it is the wrong or right, we will do it. Then what is the purpose of government? Right? Government is not a mere spectator. So here, because of social legislation, many orthodox people, right? Orthodox, both in Hindu as well as Muslims, the Orthodox people consider now they are ready to give bunch towards the British. This is the fourth important. Right, the people started to vote. And the next is some Christian missionaries, right? Some Christian, don't write Christian missionaries, some Christian missionaries and their forcible conversion. And their forcible conversion, yes, because of that again who affected were both Hindus and Muslims, because from Hindus and Muslims only gradually such a people are being converted, were converted into Christianity, and both Hindus started to, Muslims started to that we are losing the base because of many people went to some other religion, right? That religion would be dominating. That too forcible conversion. Conversion cannot be questioned by any people. Right, even in India, one trend is there. I cannot change my jadi, I cannot change my caste, but I can change my religion. Then rigidity is there. Where is rigidity? Religion or in casteism? Okay, so here this some Christian missionaries. These are all the social reason, social cause. Understood? Yes. Next, come to administrative cause. Type it. What are all the administrative causes of 1857 revolt? Corruption, dual government system. Yes, super. Land revenue system, economy. Okay, even you could write in administrative, economy. Very good. So what are all administrative is, first you write it. One is language. Yes, English language. Even now we don't know much of English. Just imagine 200 years before. What is our master is speaking? What is our ruler is speaking? I don't know anything. Then how could he be the rulers of mine? Even the same thing in southern state also, even now also, because southern state non-Hindi speaking belt definitely don't know of this. Whenever the leader from Bihar, national leader from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, even the prime minister is coming here, he does not communicate directly with the people. Rather than we do need a translator. Especially in southern state meeting, political meeting, if that northern leaders are coming here means definitely need of that. So if a leader does not know the language of a people, how could he be claimed as a leader? This is the biggest issue. And do you know, this is one of the reason Why in non-Hindi speaking belt regional parties are so famous? Why not other parties? That's one of the foremost reason. If you go to Andhra, if you go to Karnataka, otherwise you should have that regional leader, you have to rise it. That's why keep it in mind. If you want to become a good leader and a good administrator, you should know the language of the people. Otherwise, you are not at all a leader. Am I right? That's why even you, if you after becoming IAS officer or IPS officer, when you are appointed, for example, if you are from Kerala, definitely don't know Hindi. But if you are appointed in Madhya Pradesh, you should know Hindi very much. Otherwise, you have to go for separate class, coaching class. And even after becoming officer, you have to pass the language proficiency test. Otherwise, from Madhya Pradesh, if you are coming to Tamil Nadu, if you don't know Tamil, how could you be a district collector in Tamil Nadu? For that, you should learn Hindi. That is Tamil. If you are from Hindi belt, that is non-Tamil region. It is there. You have to pass exam. Then only your promotions are confirmed. Understood? So here, administrative language issue. First. Second is new system. What is new system? Judiciary, right? Judiciary, police, these are all new system. Many Indian does not know. Even today, how many are well versed with the judiciary? What is going on in a court? How the judicial proceedings are going on? Many does not know. In those times, just imagine. So it affected common man. Common man. So common man consider, no, this is not my government. So this is very important. Common man should know of this. This is not my government, right? So this is important. Administrative cost. And next, third important is racial discrimination in administration. Racial discrimination in administration. Taken? Yes. So how racial discrimination in administration is? Higher post always reserved to British. Higher post always reserved to British. Then definitely who will be affected? Who are affected is youngsters, young Indians. Youngsters are completely affected. Because even though they have complete eligibility, they cannot go beyond some maximum Havildar. They cannot become a lieutenant, they can't become a captain or brigadier like that. And ill treatment. Even in recent, there is a Hindi movie, Kesari, Akshay Kumar movie Kesari. If you see that, initially Akshay Kumar as a Havildar, he was forced to be ill treated initial part by the English higher authority. You might have watched the movie if you are from Hindi belt or even from other people might have. So here administrative cost, right? And next you come to economic cost. In here, administrative, judiciary and police. Judiciary and police, because in 1860s this system was introduced. People consider it as a new. Even today also, what is going on inside police station? How could you lodge a complaint? Many people does not know. What is going on inside a court? Many does not know. Am I right? It's like a ragasya. It's like this. Except advocates, even learned person, it's difficult. What's proceedings? 2020, if it is a scenario, 150 years, just imagine. Got it? Yes. Third point I mentioned. And come to here, economic costs. Economic costs. Listen, whatever the cost, you can adjust, but not in the case of economic costs. Right? Ultimate is what? Economy. Even today Saturday, today is an extra class. You consider 3.5 hours. I have to discuss. Means why 350 plus people are here? I have to study, sir. Then I have to become IAS officer. After becoming IAS officer, are you going to do social service? Type it. Social service or economic service? Social come economic service. Both. Practical man. Okay. Because social service. Who typed social service? Oh, don't want any salary. Complete. Okay. What is the purpose? Means after becoming, once you entered into service, job security till the age of 60, you can't be removed. Especially IAS, IPS are the constitutional post. Do you know who is the appointing authority of IAS, IPS? President of India. Then who is the removing authority? President of India. The president appoint you. President remove you. He got, actually my wife entered into service. After that he got appointment. Later she didn't go because of other service. She got the letter. Right. The President of India offers you. It is what the first line would be there. Appointment letter would come. In what way appointment letter would come is, the President of India offer you Indian Administrative Service. Kindly report at Missouri 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock on a particular day with this following. In that way, the appointment letter would come. So, who is the appointing authority? President of India. That's why civil service post. All the civil service posts are very this much. You cannot be removed because you cannot be appointed easily. So, you cannot be removed easily. Got it? So here what happened is economic cause is very important. That's why even today also you are here, job security. Monthly 30th day you will get salary. Otherwise if you are working in IT company, today if you are appointed, tomorrow you can be removed. If you today appointed, tomorrow your salary can be reduced. But impossible in that. So that's why even today I am here also. So economic cost is very important. In that economic cost, first you write land revenue system. First you write land revenue system. Yeah, what are all the land revenue system? Jamindari, Raitwari, you know. Because of land revenue system, who were the affected people is peasant. That is the mass were affected. Peasant got affected because of Jamindar exorbitant rent. You knew very well of this. It's the first. Second term, third term, this is new, and 2019 already recently question. Second important is commercialization of agriculture. Note it down. Commercialization of agriculture. First is land revenue system, we discussed. Second, commercialization. Okay. Okay. What is the plain meaning of commercialization? Any idea of agriculture? Any idea of this? Indigo, exactly. Then cash crops, super. Cotton, exactly. You are right. Very good. So what is commercialization mean? Yeah, yes. So what is commercialization mean? Planting of cash crops instead of food crops. That is called commercialization. Yeah. So cash crops instead of food crops. If you cultivate, that you first note it down. If you cultivate food crops, you could directly eat. But cash crops, cotton mean you can't eat it. You have to sell it in the market, then you have to purchase rice, then only you could eat it. It completely affected the agriculture cycle. It completely affected the peasant cycle. This is important. So it affect peasants also. Okay, completely affected. What is commercialization? Keep it in mind because of British. Third is deindustrialization. Deindustrialization. Normally, a country wanted to be the industrialized country, but during the British period, it became reverse gear. Putting the reverse gear, instead of opening up so many companies, closing of the industries. Understood? So instead of opening, closing of industries, so many industries were there. That is called deindustrialization. Got my point? This is very important. Because of that, who were affected is 8 people. You write it, artisans. Because Indian handicraft industries were completely drained, artisans were affected. Likewise, British Raj touched all the people. Actually, this is not just for 1857 revolt. This is the cause for overall dissatisfaction. Even if other revolts are asked, you can write these kinds of points also, except the military point and immediate cause. Completely affected. Okay, now all the people were ready to give punch. And last, you write it, military cause. Yes. What is the first military cause? Racial discrimination in army. Kesari movie, best example. Racial discrimination in army. Taken first. Second, important is Indian soldier should not have any religious and caste identity. That is remarks on their face. So Indian soldiers should not have any caste or religious identity or remarks on their face. Yes. So here artisans, now come to the military. So first is racial discrimination, second is religious and caste identity. One by one we will discuss. Wait. One by one. So second is this caste and religious. For example, if it is a Sikh, should have turban. But if you are serving in the army, you should not remove turban. Right, a beard, you should remove it, clean shave. No, this is my religious sanction. No, you have to clean shave. Likewise, religious sentiment. Actually, do you know this religious sentiment when it was affected? This is one of the main reason for 1806 Vellore uprising. Right. Yes. So 1806 Vellore uprising. The Vellore uprising in Tamil Nadu took place because of this religious and caste identity. You know very well. Some community would have mustache like this. Some community would have like this. Even here, some thread. Even here, if you join army, you have to remove it, especially because they consider religious touch. It's a second. Third, military causes, right? Sea voyage. So Indian soldier should go for sea voyage. So sea voyage is good. Why it was considered as thing is in Bengal region, not throughout India. Right? In Bengal region, there is a taboo. What is the taboo in Bengal region? Taboo means customs here. Taboo. Right. What is the taboo in Bengal region is if a person touched or sailed in the sea, he is a polluted man. he is a polluted man. That is a taboo in Bengal region. But what happened is many Indian soldiers forced to fight in abroad by crossing the sea. When they returned back, they were not included into their village. Understood? So British forced the Indian soldiers to go to work in abroad by crossing the sea. Right? That was one of the foremost reason. Yes, absolutely right. So these are all the various reasons military, because of that, at last who were affected is soldiers. Soldiers got affected. Simple. Right? Now soldiers got affected. In that, the one of the foremost immediate cause, that is also military cause. Am I right? But I have given as a separate cause. Last you write it. Immediate cause. Immediate cause are the military causes. In 1856, either you could write as a immediate cause or military cause, because immediate cause is military cause. In 1856, introduction of Enfield rifle system with greased cartridge. That's why I said in the beginning of class. Introduction of Enfield rifle system with a greased cartridge. Yes, as I said, many soldiers refused. That is a foremost reason. Yes, likewise you have to study. Any doubts up to this? This is the method. Actually, in NCERT, in all the book, this is explained for 5 to 6 pages. Okay, now soldiers got tension. Already these people got tension, and all were ready to give share the due. And who is the first to attack, and how the revolt started to spread. Shall we start? Yes, with this, why is over. Next, course of action of the revolt. Yes, so if your video is not clear, if it is so, please look into the video once again, because this should be explained at length and breadth. This keep it in mind. Right. So this is what of this much of course. Now we are entering into course of action. Don't immediately jump into this. What is the course of action? Here is, when the revolt was first started, sir, what are all the points? What are all the places? Here we will discuss. Listen. Here, at a place called Barakpur. Barakpur in West Bengal, March, first point you write, March 1857. March 1857, at Barakpur in West Bengal, Mangal Pandey revolted. Mangal Pandey revolted. Taken March months, 1857. Actually, what he did is, he refused to use the Enfield rifle system. Actually, he was insisted to use the rifle system. What he did, he shot a British officer. That don't read. After that, he also tried to commit suicide. That was also failed. Later, he was taken and he was hanged. You write it. He tried to shot dead a British officer. Later, he was hanged. Later, he was hanged. Yes, this is what related to Mangal Pandey. This is considered as somewhat isolated incident. Do you know Mangal Pandey was not helped by other soldiers in his regiment? Rather than other soldier overpowered Mangal Pandey and they helped British and captured Mangal Pandey, handed over to British. Why I am saying is nowadays the new trends are there. They are the British, they are the pro-British, they are the anti-British. Am I right? Likewise, I would say whoever supported the British, all are anti-nationalist. Yes or no? Including ICS. If you see Indian civil service, all the ICS officer, why do they want to become entered into civil service? If they become civil servant, they have to work below the British. Even do you know, in 1920, Subhash Chandra Bose, the youngest officer to clear the exam, but at the moment itself he resigned because he knew very well, as an ICS officer, I can be a servant of the government. I am a slave of the British government. Immediately he resigned and joined the non-cooperation movement. But few people alone targeting people, they are the pro-British, like Mir Qasim, Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar is responsible for betraying India. Not only Mir Jafar, whoever supported the British regime, all are Mir Jafar. Am I right? Especially in Tamil Nadu, whoever supported British, all are Yetappan. Accept it or not? Especially when Veerabandiya Kattoman, the Polikar, or Saira Narasimha Reddy, the Polikar, when they alone fought, so many Polikar joined hands with the British. Where could we keep them? They are also the betrayal people. Am I right? Right. If we go for interpretative wise, that itself is a separate history that has the lengthiest part. So just to confine here, so Mangal Pandey was overpowered by the soldiers and was hanged. Okay. Then when was the revolt? Where was it happened? Right? We will discuss. Listen. Mangal Pandey is over. Isolated incident that happened in Barakpur. Then when the first thing happened is here. You note it down. Here is the Delhi. Just above the Delhi, Meerut. You write it. In Meerut on 10th May 1857. Actually, this is considered as the starting point of the revolt. 10th May 1857, soldiers revolted. Taken 10th May 1857, soldiers revolted. Next day, continue the point. Next day, they attacked and captured Delhi. Next day, they attacked and captured Delhi. Yes. Why Delhi means? It is a Mughal capital, medieval capital. Bahadur Shah was there. Next point, you write. And declared Bahadur Shah too as Emperor of India. Declared Bahadur Shah too as Emperor of India. Taken? Listen, now first Meerut, next reached Delhi. Listen, once reached Delhi, already we discussed that so many people were waiting. If you see that so many people were waiting. Am I right? What happened here is once it's reached Delhi, this information started to reach like a forest fire. Forest fire. Listen, first who revolted is soldiers. Now, first soldiers revolted. If you see that soldiers got support. Support from whom? Artisans, ex-rulers. Right, the Marathas, Mughal were supporters, Orthodox people, common man, youngsters, peasant. So first revolt was started by soldiers and they got all other support. This is what the starting of 1847 revolt. Got it? This is what 1847 revolt started First, where was it started? Meerut. Next day, Delhi. Then it's like a forest fire. It engulfed the entire northern part of India. Okay. In northern part of India, in so many places, listen, in so many places, not only in Delhi, in so many cities, right, people revolted under their leader. And now what we are going to discuss is who are all the leader, what are all the place, why did they revolt, that we are going to discuss. Now what you have to do it, you are writing like this, am I right? In your notebook you are writing like this. You turn into that portrait mode. Actually this is landscape. You turned into the portrait mode. In the portrait mode, you open this place, Indian leader, reason, British officers suppressed, and fate. So give sufficient gap to this. So change your notebook mode and note it down with a sufficient gap. Here I have to give point, some more point. Here I have to give some more point. Likewise, we are going to discuss. First you do one thing, place Indian leader, you write it and write just Delhi alone and leader alone. Then I will discuss here. Otherwise do one thing. Here you write place, leader alone and give sufficient gap in each here. Right, even some space, free space are there, not at all a matter. Write all the places, Kanpur, Lucknow, Jhansi and leaders alone. And here don't fill it because I have to discuss. Once if you have written up to the 4, you just type it so that I will go to the next. At least you have to write. Another is there, another 3 is there. So once you type written up to this, you just type it so that I will move on to next slide. Huh? Okay, again, while entering into that, I will come back. The first is already said Delhi region, and who was declared as the emperor of India was Bahadur Shah. Bahadur Shah participated, but the Bahadur Shah half-heartedly participated. That's why he asked to have sufficient space half-heartedly because age factor. Now you listen, don't go on to write of other thing, you write it here itself, okay, because we will discuss one after another. So half-heartedly participated. That's why who was the real is the Bakht Khan. So nominal head was Bahadur Shah too, real head was Bakht Khan. Bakht Khan, he was the person from Bareilly region. Bareilly in UP region. So from Bareilly he came and he was the actual leader of this one. Okay. Now you come to reason why we already discussed ill treatment. Ill treatment given to the Mughals. So why Bahadur Shah II revolted? Ill treatment. British ill treated. That's why Bahadur Shah II revolt. We already discussed. Okay. One. Why Bakht Khan is this part alone you write. He was from Bareilly and he decided to support Bahadur Shah II. That's the reason. Remaining part don't write it. That is for my reference. Don't write it. Write this alone. So he decided to support Bahadur Shah II because we have to contribute something. We have to work. That's why he supported. These two columns next we will discuss. You leave it blank. Okay, that's all. So 3 we discussed. Next come to Kanpur. Kanpur already you know Nana Sahib. Why Nana Sahib revolted? Pension already discussed. Tandia Top. Who was the Tandia Top? Supporter. Actually his real name is Tandia Top, not Tandia Top. Some Maratha name, pure Maratha name. Tandia Top means it's a common name. What is a common name of Tandia Top? Mean military commander. So Tandia Top is not the real name. His name it's Wangde. It would come like this. He was a Pakka Maratha name. It would come. Later he was given the title Tandia Top. Even I can take a title Tandia Top. Tandia Top means military head, commander. It means. Okay. So he decided to support Nana Sahib. That's why. And third is Azimullah Khan. He was also supporter of the Nana Sahib. And he was sent to London. This is important. And this Azimullah Khan was sent to London for pension related matter. He was sent to London. Now let me explain. Listen. Nana Sahib sent Azimullah Khan. Azimullah Khan, the British was not at all giving pension. You go and appear before which body to get pension? Type. To appear in which body? COD, exactly. Right. Not crown, yeah, COD, because we are in 1857. After 1857 only crown. Before 1857, if you want to get pension, before the COD, so Azimullah Khan and was agent of Nana Sahib was sent to London to get pension. But it was failed. His mission was failed. That's why Nana Sahib, Tandia Top, Azimullah Khan, especially Nana Sahib, Tandia Top started to revolt. Over. Next, Lucknow, Beham, Hazrat Mahal. Yes. Why Lucknow? Lucknow, you people know, it's a capital of Awadh. Lucknow, capital of Awadh. Am I right? Awadh was annexed by the doctrine of misgovernance. Because capital of Awadh was Lucknow, was annexed by doctrine of misgovernance. Who was the last Awadh ruler? Type. Wajid Ali Shah. Yes, exactly. Wajid Ali Shah. Then who was Beham Hazrat Mahal's wife? Wife of Wajid Ali Shah. Note it down. Wife of Wajid Ali Shah. Got it? So this Deham Hazrat Mahal started to revolt. Okay. Here what is mentioned is British Qadir. Don't write it. As of now we don't want this. Okay. So this alone is enough. Actually British Qadir was her son. She proclaimed her son as the successor. When Wajid Ali Shah was removed with the doctrine of misgovernance, she refused and proclaimed her son. The son name is British Qadir. The British Qadir was declared as the Awad. If you are from UP region, it may be helpful. Otherwise, no need of this. So, doctrine of misgovernance. Jhansi, no need to explain further. Real name is Manikarnika. After that, famously called Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. Doctrine of lapse. This already we discussed. Right? And next is this place, Jagdishpur and Ara. These two places are in Bihar. In these places, Kunwar Singh. Yes. So why Kunwar Singh revolted? And what's the significance of Kunwar Singh is the eldest revolted leader. Eldest or oldest? Even Bahadur Shah too crossed 70s mean this Kunwar Singh crossed 80s. Just imagine, Kunwar Singh crossed 80s actually. We will discuss what happened to Kunwar Singh later, okay? Why did Kunwar Singh revolt? That is important. Here is the reason column. Why did he revolt? Is listen. Actually, he was a Jamindar. He was a British appointed Jamindar as per Jamindari system. Okay? You all knew very well. Every year, Jamindar should collect the tax from the peasant and should submit it to the British. Okay? If a Jamindar refused to give amount to the British means the Jamindari rights will be dismissed. He will be dismissed from the Jamindari system. Okay, this is important. Listen, we already discussed company. Here English is a company. So many Jamindars were appointed. Jamindar 1, Jamindar 2, Jamindar 3 and in that peasant. If a peasant refused to give land rent, Jamindar would expel the peasant. Likewise, if a Jamindar refused to give collected amount to the company, Jamindar will be expelled. This is the case. Here happened. Kunwar Singh was a Jamindar under Jamindari system. He didn't give the amount, annual rent to the British, collected amount. So British dismissed him. That's why I write it. So he was a Jamindar and later he was dismissed from the service. He was a Jamindar and later he was dismissed from the service. So that's why he got tension. Oh, in British, you dismissed me, so I will fight against you. That's why this Jagdishpur, he revolted. And next is Faisabad. Faisabad in UB. Maulvi Ahmadullah, the Talukdar. Talukdar means it's like a head. Tahsildar, likewise Talukdar, right? So why did he revolt mean? The Awadh region was annexed. You listen. Loss of territory. Awadh we already discussed. Carefully see that. Here, Lucknow, the capital of Awadh. Awadh was already annexed. Faisabad was part and parcel of the Awadh region. Right. What happened is the Faisabad region was also part and parcel of the British. So loss of territory after Awadh was annexed. So once Awadh was annexed, Faisabad was also annexed by the British. So they consider we lost our territory. To whom is the British? That's why under the leader Maulvi Ahmadullah, they started to revolt. Okay. So here you have to link with Awadh annexation. Much behind, so many stories are there. Don't want of this. And next is Bareilly. Bareilly is also in UP. Here the leader is Khan Bahadur Khan and again annexation of their territory. What territory is Rohilkhand. Even today also in UP, There is a place called, region called Rohilkhand, Awadhi land, Bundelkhand, likewise. So the Rohilkhand chief is the Khan Bahadur Khan. He started to revolt. Actually, these leaders are brilliant leaders of 1857 revolt. These are some places I mentioned, some leaders I mentioned. If I wanted to say, it would go for like this. It would go for 20 leaders or 30 leaders. These are all important. In that way, entire northern part of India was, especially in the Uttar Pradesh, in that region, completely engulfed of this. Complete. Listen, May month, revolt was started. June, July, August, September. If you go by August or September, revolt was at peak. It was at peak. Entire area. But after September or October, British sent force and started to capture one after another. So outside you write it. After some month, British started to suppress and controlled the entire revolt. Taken. So how was the revolt come to an end? Is now we are in this point. This is pure factual. Normally, no question from this. This is just the extra point. Apart from that, no question from this column. Yes. When I studied in optional, at the time, history optional for prelims, at the time, who suppressed the revolt in Kanpur? Which British officer? Likewise, they asked it. Nowadays, they are not at all asking like this. Okay, now I come back. What happened, sir, is, listen, Delhi. When Delhi was attacked and captured, what happened to Bahadur Shah to? Note it down. We already discussed. He was sent to Rangoon, where he died later. Now you come to the last column. This matter we already discussed. Taken at the last, the pathetic end of Bahadur Shah too. And even said, even today also Mughal family is there, but they have that tea shop in Bangladesh. No one is ready to give monetary benefit to them. This is important. Okay. And what happened to Bakht Khan? Actually, Bakht Khan was a brilliant military soldier. That's why during the revolt, he was severely wounded. Note it down. Actually, these kinds of table is not at all there. It is my attempt. Rather than if you study, it is mentioned in 5 to 6 page. I try to club it into a single table. So severely wounded and died. Because as a head, you have to fight it. So with this, what is the first place captured by the soldiers? Delhi. Am I right? After Meerut. Likewise, what is the first place recaptured by the British was also Delhi. Nearby you write it. Thus, first place recaptured by the British. That is Delhi. Taken? Yes. Second, come to Kanpur. What happened? When Kanpur was recaptured, who recaptured is Campbell. Near the Campbell, you write it. Havelock is there. Havelock name we don't want. Campbell. Recaptured it. What happened to Nana Sahib is tried to escape to Nepal, but on the way he died. Actually, this is related to Nana Sahib. Taken. So he tried to escape to Nepal, but on the way, because between India and Nepal, Tarai region is there. Dense forest, wild animals are there. When he was about to cross it, many believe that he was killed by wild animals. That was the prime reason for the death of Nana Sahib. Yes, you try to leave the British officer column blank, right? If I said very important, that alone you note it down. For example, Kanpur, even though it's not helpful, for mains you may write it. Why 1857 revolt was defeated? For that you may answer one point. The British had a strong military commander like Campbell, like Hugh Gross. Apart from that, better to leave the British officer column blank except what I particularly emphasize. Okay. So Nana Sahib we discussed. Now you come to Tandia Top. Carefully listen. You have written Tandia Top. Nana Sahib died. Now Tandia Top without leader. What Tandia Top did, you have to write like this. Tandia Top joined, you write like this here. Tandia Top joined with Lakshmi Bai. First you write. Joined with Lakshmi Bai. Then you put line and come and write remaining thing, write it in Lakshmi Bai column. Because Tandia Top and Lakshmi Bai joined together. Taken. Both fight against the British at Gwalior. This is very important battle called the Battle of Gwalior. Battle of Gwalior, where Lakshmi Bai was killed. Actually, in the battlefield itself, Lakshmi Bai was killed. You have to write everything in Lakshmi Bai column hereafter. So, in the Battle of Gwalior, Lakshmi Bai was killed. At that time, who was the military governor? Military officer was Hugh Gross. Hugh Gross. Taken? Yes. Now Lakshmi Bai was over. Again, who was isolated? Tandia Top was isolated. Now you write it in Tandia Top column. Escaped to forest. Actually, this is the way you have to study. Escaped to forest. Yes. Listen. He was escaped to the forest in Madhya Pradesh region or UP region, dense forest, and he was struggling hard because he was living in a hide life. Okay. British were searching. Inch by inch, British were searching inside the forest. He was facing hardship. At the moment only, one of his friend asked him, "Oh Tandia Top, why do you struggle hard? Come to my house, safe haven." Tandia Top genuinely accepted his friend invitation, and when he was staying in his friend house, the same friend informed to the British. That's why I use the word betrayal. The friend informed. Same friend informed to the British, betrayed, later taken, later hanged. UPSC question already, this question has been asked. With this, everything over. Tandia Top. Azimullah Khan, don't know what happened. Yes. Next is, come to Lucknow. What happened to Begum Hazrat Mahal? When Awadh was captured, she escaped to Nepal. This is important, yeah, because I came to know of this news very recently. She escaped to Nepal, and from Nepal she continued the revolt. And Nepal she continued the revolt. Even I learned what I learned is uh, even after 1858 crown started to rule. At the time also Begum Hasrat Mahal in Nepal, crown asked Begum Hasrat Mahal, please come back. We would not do anything. You are completely pardoned. But Begum Hasrat Mahal refused to come. She never came back. Even during crown period, when crown set, you will be pardoned. Okay, this is what Beham, Asrat Mahal, and Lakshmi Bai we already discussed. And next, Jagdishpur, Ara. What's the significance of this is, right, age factor and wounds. He died. And Kunwar Singh's story is very inspiring one. I can discuss a lot with this itself. I could discuss 4 hours or 5 hours. But what is essential, how to get smart way score, that's why I'm discussing. Okay, so here age factor, already 80 plus. Just imagine, at the age of 80 plus, he revolted. And even, do you know, wound. At one point that time, he got bullet injury, and it pierced into his leg, left hand, and completely severed. What he did it, to avoid that further, he cut his left hand and dedicated to and throw away into the Gangetic river, and then continued to fight. So due to bleeding, due to age factor, he died. Not killed, died because of this. Why I'm saying is, because of these people only today we are enjoying fundamental rights, speech. If no such a ruler, what would happen? Understood? So this is Faizabad, Jagdishpur in Bihar. Next is Faizabad. You come to that Ahmadullah, right? He is also another greatest person. What happened is, listen, it was impossible for the British to capture him. For him as well as here. Right, for both the people, it is difficult for the British to capture. And at last, what happened is, this is important, note it down. Prize money. British announced prize money because no leader, rather than suppressing leader, prize money was announced. Whoever bring either Maulvi Ahmadullah or his head alone, you will be rewarded. And one of the friend and Raja, who was Raja, is this Raja S. Bavayan. He killed, treacherously he killed. Actually, this Raja only invited. After invitation, he killed, showed the head, and got the reward. Understood? This may be asked as a question. And last is Khan Bahadur Khan. Khan Bahadur Khan. He was also betrayed. Then you say, who was responsible for British rule in India? Indian. He was also betrayed. Last he was hanged. Not killed, here is the hanged. Actually, this is the method of studying. By 1857 Jan or Feb 1857, 58, if you go to North India, complete clean, complete suppression, complete retaking of everything by the British. This is called 1857 revolt, and it's the right course of action. With this, we successfully completed one of the foremost part, 250-year-old history, that is 1498 to 1857 over. Next, what we are going to discuss is 1857 to 1947. Actually, this is 90-year-old history, right? Just to break, today onwards, I have to discuss this, right? This week, please never miss it, because opening of the classes, offline classes, even no government, especially Tamil Nadu government, yet to announce. Delhi, Andhra, some government announced it. Tamil Nadu yet to announce it. So don't wait till offline classes. Even though offline class seems to be good, Till that, learn something. You don't waste time, learn something. Once offline classes are started, you will feel very free. This whatever the time waste, it will be affected next year, next June, July, before prelims it will be affected. Okay, especially never miss this part, right? This week I will try to complete this part. Break, then we will meet. with this, we successfully completed the 1847 revolt, except only one topic of the 1847 revolt is its impact is there. Okay, that part it is better to discuss along with the second part of the history, modern Indian history. So with this, we completed the part 1. Now open part 2 of modern Indian history. Part 2 of modern Indian history. Either you could open separate, or if you go back to the first page of the modern India, in that itself I asked you to split into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Go back and check it in the first class. Yes, if you see the first class, I have split the part into 2, up to 1847 and after 1847. This is just 90-year-old history. So first you fix the range. What I am going to study, between which 2 year I have to study. Then you split the part. At last you study, then very easy to understand of this. Got it? So here we are entering into the second part. What is the name of the second part? Is you write it freedom struggle phase. Part 1 I didn't give particular topic. Part 2 the particular topic is freedom struggle phase or national movement phase. National movement phase or rise of nationalism. Whenever if you come across this word freedom struggle, national movement, rise of nationalism, mean always keep it in mind 1850s and onwards up to 1947. That is what related to here. Okay. So here what is the meaning of nationalism? The word itself is important, because nationalism after in 2020 is different. Nationalism before 1947 is different. What is nationalism now? Define. Write it. Type. What is nationalism as per 2020 definition? Okay. Patriotism. Supporting BJP. Yeah. Yes. Abide by the constitution. All. Yes. All Indians are brothers and sisters. Okay. Brothers and sisters. Okay. Okay. Actually, what is he is trying, he or she is trying to explain, but not apt word correct. So, what is nationalism? Now is oneness. We are bounded politically. Keep it in mind. One prime minister, one president, one constitution, one national flag, one identity called India. Politically, am I right? But religious wise, linguistic wise, culture wise, very different. So what is nationalism in 2020 is politically, if I say that is necessarily to be an Indian, that's enough. Not necessarily to be a particular religion, then only you are an Indian. Wrong. Not necessarily to learn one language, then only you are an Indian, because some narrow minded people are saying like this, because they only don't know what is India, they only don't know what is Hindustan. Understood? And in the name of narrow nationalism, and they consider us, they are the real patriotic, they actually don't know, they are the anti-nationalist actually. So now under one umbrella, political umbrella, we are here. One flag, one national song, one national anthem. Even very interesting. Majority of the people are speaking Hindi, but national anthem, national song, both are not in Hindi. Am I right? Majority of the people are Hindu, But our national emblem is from Buddhism. Accept it. National emblem is taken from where? Sarnath. Sarnath, Buddhism related, we have taken. Am I right? So this is what India secularism. This is what India actually. For political reason, many would say like this, just to get the voting, right? That we don't want of this. We would not believe such a people. You knew very well of this. All the people knew very well. So here, this is 2020. But during the British period, what is nationalism in? Whoever, keep it in mind, fought against the British, all are nationalist. Okay, whoever raised their voice against the British. So after 2020, my country is India. Yes, I abide by constitution. I abide by national song, national anthem. I respect all the religion, my right, all my co-fellows. That's why one student mentioned brothers and sisters. That is India. How do I love my language? In the same way, I do love the other states' language also. Oneness, understanding, am I right? Tolerance. That is what the concept, one army. But during British period, whoever, whether you are a Kashmiri or whether a Bengali, whoever you are, opposed British are called nationalist. Keep it in mind. That's why I said, who are the early nationalists? Mir Jafar, Mir Qasim himself was an early nationalist. Tippu was a nationalist because he also opposed it. Kataboman, Saira Narsim Reddy, Chennamma, then here Mangal Pandey, Lakshmi Bai. I could enlist. But what is the concept is the oneness concept was not there. Keep it in mind. Earlier they revolted, but not oneness. But after 1850s only, not only the struggle, but also oneness. So what is the significance of nationalism after 1850s is, right, oneness. This is important. Oneness plus struggle against the British. So before 1847, struggle was there, but not oneness. Yes. So here, this is what the oneness concept. Right. Whoever supported British, actually, supporter mean political. With the help of the British, they reformed society. Mean then they are not anti-nationalist. One student mentioned Rajaram Mondra anti-nationalist. He wanted for social welfare. For that alone, he got the support. Even he gave pressure to the British. That's why William Bentinck government forced to give such a thing. Then I would say Gandhi is also an anti-nationalist. Subhas is also anti-nationalist. Because of Gandhiji, because of Subhasji only, British passed the Government of India Act, India Independence Act 1947. Then can we say they are also an anti-nationalist? Okay, because of Rajaram Mohan Rai pressure, William Bentinck government forced to give abolition of Sati Act. So likewise, that's why I'm saying all would study history. Actually, history is the only subject all knew something in everything. But at the same time, many would not know in depth. Then they would started to dance like anything. This is what history has, both plus and minus. For history, no need of new thing. At the same time, for history, so many interpretations is one of the biggest issue in history. And history is the only topic where you can debate without a staff. But other, you need a staff. Political science, any thesis is there. You need it, without which you can't. Sociology, thesis is there. But in the case of history, no thesis, nothing. You knew it. That's why, as I said in the first class, many are thinking history is the tough. Why? You knew it. That's why you knew it. These are all negatives. But what is the negative? Another thing, you would easily interpret. Okay, here we can't say Rajaram Mohan Rai as anti-nationalist because interpretation is wrong. So oneness and struggle against the British. So this is what the topic. Okay. As how did I give various unit in the part 1? Likewise, various unit in the part 2, one by one. Then we will discuss. What is the first unit? Write it. What is the first unit is the revolt of 1847. The revolt of 1847 and its impact. 1857 and its impact. Sir, again, already now only we discussed of 1847 revolt. Then what we are going to discuss in this unit is only the impact. First I will enumerate the unit. Carefully listen. Maximum 7 unit or 6 units are there because topic is small. Just 90-year-old history. Okay. So here what part we will discuss is not 1857 revolt. Its impact we will discuss. So it means that 1857 revolt was also part and parcel of part 2. But for our convenience, no, for my convenience, and to have up to 1857, I took that part in part 1. Actually, 1857 revolt and its impact would come in the part 2. Taken? Yes. Listen, we discussed up to 1857. As I said, it is the first war of independence. Listen, it's the first war of independence. Okay. After 1847, today area is most cumbersome area. Okay. If you able to understood today's area, what we are going to discuss, Monday onwards very easy. Especially from Gandhiji onwards, anyone could study. That's why today and Tuesday class, Tuesday or Wednesday class, don't miss it. Right. Listen, after 1847, then again nationalism started to rise in all India level in the name of INC. This is my reference, don't write. Yeah, up to 1857 we discussed. Next, normally a student would study since 1885. Hereafter all would study Indian National Congress, so and so, so and so, so and so, and up to 1947. Okay. But my question is, what we are going to discuss? Sir, what happened in the 30 years? You yourself write like this. What is history? Study of anything in chronological order. Here chronology. Here 30-year chronology is missing. What happens, sir, here? And another thing, this second part is pure analytical part actually. Factual is very, very less. Don't confuse with first part and second part. Okay. I will discuss like this. Here and there alone I will give some information. Otherwise, carefully look into this. What happened in the 30 years? Okay, you all knew that INC, a national organization which gave a platform and for agitation. Question is, before starting of Indian National Congress, were there no any organization or do we have any organization? Means yes, so many organizations were there. Actually, so many organizations were there even before INC, that is unit number 2, write it. Since such organizations are started before INC, that is called, unit is called pre-INC organization, write it. Pre-INC organization. Unit number 1, I have already given. Unit number 2, pre-INC organization. Because all were started before INC. Okay. What is another name of this organization is, listen. Indian National Congress is all India level. It's an all India level platform organization. Take it? Yes, it's an all India level organization. Shall we start? Yes. But this organization, if you see, these are all located only in regional level. 1 or 2 in Bombay province, 1 or 2 in Calcutta, 1 or 2 in Madras. That's why this is also called pre-INC or also called regional organization. regional organization. Actually, this topic is very small, not more than 15 minutes, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, but question would be asked because examiner knew very well a student would miss this part. From there, they would take question. Why you don't want, UPSC don't want you, openly to say. Why such a tough topic is, I come to this. Applicant are 6 lakh people. 6 lakhs are applicant. Okay. Among that, they want only 1300. 13,000. Just imagine for mains. For mains, as per nowadays, they are taking maximum 1300. So, for mains writing only 13,000 people, not 1300, 13,000 people. But how many people are attending? 6 lakh. They have to filter and they have to get only 13,000 students. It means that UPSC, in the name of preliminary, wanted to eliminate you. They don't want you. They would work as far as possible to eliminate you. For that, they would take like this question. Only genuine effort student alone would be taken. Once you cleared prelims, okay, good. Started to write mains, you can say, okay, my preparation is good. But once you written mains, among that, they would take 2,400 students. In that, they try to give all chance. You see that 6 lakh to 13,000. Just imagine, it means that remaining 5 lakh 87,000 student out. Only 13,000 alone are insiders. Because no need to bother here. 6 lakh students would apply. No need to bother about anything. Whether you are genuine, do you know? Whenever you are going to mains, only the same person would come. Actually, among 6 lakh, only genuine candidate is 50k. No more than genuine candidate 50k. No need to bother, sir. This year 9 lakh students applied. Oh, let it be. Okay, no need to bother about it. 50k alone. Among the 50k, you check it whether you are studying good or not. Among that, 2,400. Especially if you go to interview, same face would come year after another. Same face. Why? Only the 50k alone would come to mains, would come to interview. Remaining people, just for that, I am also attending exam. I am also preparing for UPSC exam. Not good. That's why they wanted to eliminate. For that, these kinds of unit will be taken. So second unit here is regional organization. Yes. And third unit is Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress. In which year it was started? 1885. In which year it was ended? Type. Never. No end. Yes, still working. Exactly. It's still working. Even today, it's a ruling party in some states, but not in central level. So don't confuse with that. But for modern India, we are going to study up to 1947. Third unit, write it, Indian National Congress. 1885 to 1947. Biggest unit. Today itself I will give ideology. Entire ideology I try to give it so that you will get the entire information. Yes. Now, that is 2020. Congress is under whose control? Who is the head of the Congress? Sonia Ji. Listen, then it is called Sonia Ji's face. Am I right? Before that, who controlled? Is Raju. So it is called Raju phase. Before that, who controlled? Is Indira Gandhi. That's why it is Indira phase. Before that, who controlled it? That is Jawaharlal Nehru. So it is called Nehru phase. So that is post-independence. After independence, if you see Nehru era, next is Indira era, next is Raju era, next is Sonia Ji era, likewise. Okay? Very similar to that. These are all after 1947. Why it is called Sonia Ji era? Because she is the head of the party, so her era. Earlier, Raju the head of the party, so Raju era. Understood? Likewise, between 1885 to 1947, right? Based on leadership, you write it. Based on leadership and their ideology. Based on leadership and their ideology. Underline the word. This is keyword. Entire C is split into three phases. Split it into three phases. Taken? Yes. The word is important. Leadership and ideology. Because whenever leader change, ideology change. Yes. That is the first phase. Here is moderates. Moderates phase. 1885 to 1905. 1885 to 1905. Second is extremist phase. Extremist phase 1905 1917. Extremist phase. Okay. And the third is Gandhian phase. Gandhian phase 1917 to 1947. 1917 to 1947. Taken? Based on what? Leadership. Based on leadership, ideology change. So this is a three phase. This is very common. All should know of this. Here listen. Moderates, extremist, I use it. Okay. Next is Gandhian. Right. Here one is missing. What is the one is revolutionary. I never use the word revolutionaries. In this I never used it. I never included revolutionaries inside Congress. Because Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Chandrasekhar Azad, if you go through that people worked outside Congress. And Congress never took weapon. And don't confuse between revolutionaries and the extremists. Extremists are different, revolutionary terrorists are different. Okay, now we will discuss the concept. Who are moderates, who are extremists, who are Gandhi, who are revolutionaries, we will discuss. Here 300 plus members are there. Okay. One famous student, Supriyo. Supriyo is there or not? Supriyo, you keep it. Right, Supriyo is there. I asked Supriyo. Supriyo, what is your aim? Sir, I want to become IAS officer by 2022, sir. Because you are going to write the exam in 2021. Okay. So now only I joined. I will take GS. I will study history as an optional. 2021 I would write. 2022 by September month I would be in Missouri. This is normally all the aim. I asked Supriyo. He said that, Supriyo, how many hours do you study? Half an hour, sir, a day. What? Half an hour a day? Why? What happened? Why not 15 hours or 10 hours? Sir, my father is a crorepati, sir. Right? Why should I study? I just studying half an hour. Then when would you become IAS officer? Not 2022, sir. 2032. If this year failed, next year. If next year failed, then next. I would study gradually, sir. Daily half an hour. After watching movie, after with my girlfriend, after movie, everything. Whenever time, then alone I would study. Then you say whether he is a moderate or extremist. He is the pakka moderates. So moderates mean gradualist. Gradual they are doing. They will do it. If to, not today, tomorrow. If not to next year, next year. Understood? So Supriyo is pakka moderate. Because his study is slow, aim is slow, he accept everything, even failed, that doesn't matter. No vigorous in nature. Okay. Supriyo name alone I know. Any other students? Right. Chitan, you consider Chitan. Chitan is there. I asked Chitan. Chitan, how is your study? Right, okay. I asked Chitan. He asked. Right, I asked. He said, sir, daily I am studying 12 hours, sir. 15 hours sometimes. Sometimes 24 hours. No sleeping, nothing. Why this Kolaveriya? Why do you study like this? Because I should write 2021 exam. 2022 September month. 2022 September month. I should be in Masuri, sir. So for that, I am studying that much, and I want IAS officer immediately. Then his study is extreme way of study. That's why he is called as what person? Extremist. How many hours he is studying? 12 hours, 15 hours. Definitely I would become. So Supriyo moderates. Chitan is extremist. Okay, his aim to become IAS, but immediately. Supriya aim after 10 years. Next come to Vijay. Right. I ask Vijay. Vijay, what is your aim, sir? Same, sir. IAS officer. Good. Which year you would become IAS officer? 2022, sir. Very next year itself. Very good. How many hours do you study? No need to study, sir. Hey, if you if you are not at all studying, how would you become IAS officer 2022? I have a plan, sir. I have a plan B. What is a plan B? All my colleagues would file application form. Once application form date is over, online application form, I will hack UPSC website. I will get all the address of the applicant. Then I would purchase weapon from militant. I will kill all the candidate. And I am the only candidate. Jalia, I will go and write prelims, I will clear. Even if I answered one question. Then mains, even if I answered one question, I am clear. I am the only candidate in interview. UPSC must include me into the IAS. Then Vijay is a terrorist. That is the only difference between extremist and terrorist. What is the only different? Extremist would not take weapon. Terrorist would take weapon. I think you are all cleared with this. I hope so. Yes? Which that's your own ideology. I actually study 11 hours, 10 hours you study. Extremist ideology would work. Among the terrorist ideology, if work mean you can't become IAS officer, you will be jailed. Which ideology? Gradualist ideology mean you can't become IAS officer. By that time age bar would happen. Half an hour daily study, what would happen? Okay. So best ideology for clearing is extremist ideology. For clearing UPSC exam. 12 hours, 13 hours daily you have to study. Listen, I mentioned moderates, I mentioned extremist, terrorists are outside Congress. Next I have to discuss the person Gandhian. So you have to write simultaneously. I am not at all discussing anything outside. Whatever I discussing is all are related to the information and for our exam. So Gandhi. What is the Gandhian ideology? Yes, you all people know. Ahimsa and what? Satyagraha. Note it down. Ahimsa and Satyagraha. Gandhian ideology. It's entirely different with that of other. What is Ahimsa? Simple, non-violence. Ahimsa is a non-violence. Okay. Satyagraha. What is the meaning of Satya? Ahimsa wise all would explain. What is the meaning of Satyagraha? Type. What is your understanding? Because daily we are using it. Gandhian face. Speaking what? Truth. Any other? Pursuing truth. Okay, correct. Truth will win. Correct. Exactly. Admire. Okay. Yes. Trust. Okay. Okay. One explanation is correct. Satya means Satyavame Jayate itself is a separate thing. Okay. Okay. Civil resistance are yet to come. Okay. Okay. I am asking question. You are asking question to me. Huh? Okay. Yes. Listen. Satyagraha. What is Satya? Satya means truth. Okay. Plain meaning of Satya means truth. Another word is graha. Agraha. Agraha means insisted. Write the word. So split the Satyagraha into truth. Satya means truth. Agraha means insisted. Then what is the meaning is truth is insisted. I will tell only truth. That's all. That is what Satyagraha. You beat me. You kill me. You torture me. Am I right? Even you take off my property. But I will insist only. I will tell only truth. That is the concept. So the Gandhian idea is like this. This is what over. 110 mark I completed. Okay, with this modern India class over. If you understood this three concept of moderates, extremist, Gandhian, remaining 4 to 5 class, I am going to explain this. Okay. My question is whether Congress alone was responsible for the freedom? No. So many other organizations are there. What all the other organizations are faced? Right, write it. Fourth unit. Fourth unit is revolutionary nationalism. Write it. Revolutionary nationalism, because they are also responsible. In some book they mentioned revolutionary terrorist. Don't use the word terrorist, okay? Because Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, V.D. Savarkar were terrorists to the British, but for us they are all nationalists. So revolutionary nationalist, you split into two. One is phase 1, another is phase 2. Phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is 1907 to 1917. It is exactly 1907. Okay, approximate year I am giving it. Phase 1. Phase 2 is 1923 to 1931. So Congress was not the only organization, but a major organization Congress. But other organization, other activities were also responsible for national movements. In that one is revolutionary nationalists. Okay, and the next 5th unit is home rule movement. 1916-17. Next, Swaraj Party. Swaraj Party. 1923-1926. 1923-1926. Taken? Yes. So these are all important. So you keep it in mind whether you are studying, whether I have completed this or not, then you have to fill it. That's why I am giving it. Right. And next, and another important, you put comma. And another you write it INA, Indian National Army, 1943 to 45. Yes, 1943 to 45. Yes, these are all other organizations that too worked for the freedom struggle. So likewise, so many organizations are. When the unit comes, when it's come, gradually we will discuss. And last part, unit number 6 is what is the last unit of part 1? Type. Go back and look into that and type. Important Act, exactly. Important Act passed by British Parliament. The same thing write it here also. Important Act passed by British Parliament. British Parliament. Yes, what are all the important act passed by British Parliament? Here, you write it 1858, 1861, 1892, 1909, 1919, 1919, 1935, and last India Independence Act 1947. Last India Independent Act 1947. Taken? So India Independence Act 1947. Except India Independence Act, if time is there, again we will discuss that also. We will grill all. Actually, these are all basic for polity also, this act. Yes, study of this 6th unit constitute part 2. If you knew, part 2 is damn easy actually. Normally, a student would feel easy of part 2. Why? All would have known something. If I said Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, you knew. Even if I said M.A. Jinnah, you knew. All the character, all the events are new. But what happened at first, what happened at later, that alone the problem would come. So that is the duty to discuss it in chronological order. So Unit 6, Important Act, 1858, 1861, 1892, 1909, 1919, 1935, and India Independence Act 1947. India Independence Act 1947. Yes, that's all. With this, today I open first topic, right? Remaining topic we will discuss in the subsequent class. Monday onwards, Monday or Tuesday onwards, we will look into that. Definitely we will complete it. So try to attend these kinds of classes, because again we are going to complete another 300 pages. And this part will be highly helpful for mains also. So first to open the topic, 1857 revolt and its impact. 1857 revolt and its impact. Taken? Yes. Here we already discussed 1857 revolt. Why 1857 revolt is significant? Why do we study separately? Discussed. Second, we also discussed of why. Third, we also discussed course of action, how it was controlled. So here only one topic we left in this is impact. So under 1857 revolt, you write it impact. Impact alone we have to discuss. So impact of 1857 revolt. Yes, shall we start? One by one we will discuss. What is the first impact of 1857 revolt is, you write it, Queen's Proclamation. Queen's Proclamation. Nearly 5 or 6 major impact we will discuss. November 1, 1858. 1858, a Darbar at Allahabad. Darbar at Allahabad, Prayagraj. Now it's Prayagraj. Yes. Who conducted this Darbar is Viceroy Lord Canning. Otherwise, Governor General Lord Canning. This is very important. So, Queen's Proclamation, it was announced at a place, Allahabad. For that, a grand Darbar was held, and who was the Governor General at the time was Lord Canning. This is significant. Yes. Now, what we have to discuss is, sir, which queen, what queen said that alone was announced? He didn't announce it. Queen announced it. He just read it. And Allahabad Darbar. Okay. Who was the queen at the time? Is Victoria I. 2014 preliminary question. So take it. So queen was Victoria I. Right. She proclaimed it. What are all the proclamations which was announced in the Delhi Darbar, Allahabad Darbar? 3 to 4 points we will discuss. This is the first major change. Yes. What is the first point? Is end of company's rule. Taken end of company's rule. Then who is going to rule? How we will discuss later. That's the first point. Second point is no more annexation. No more annexation. Before that, I have to further explain the first point. As I said, end of company's rule. Keep it in mind. Not end of company. Company's rule alone was ended. Company was functioning still in London, but hereafter company should not rule India. That's why many students would get confused. End of company means company was winded up. No, company was running in England, but thereafter in company cannot rule India. That's the first point definition. Second is no more annexation. 2014 exactly this is the question. Why no more annexation type? Why this point is emphasized? Exactly. Yes. Yes. This annexation is the culprit. Yeah. This annexation is the culprit. So because of that only many people started to revolt. That led to 1857. Now Queen said that we would never annex even an inch of territory. So it means that during whose period only annexation happened, Indian territory was taken was only during the company period. British crown period, no more annexation because it is deliberately mentioned in the Queen's Proclamation itself. Taken. Third is equal treatment for Indian. Indian would be treated equally. Equal treatment for Indian is along with the British, that is end of racial discrimination. But this is just in the file, not in the field. Equal treatment. So likewise, so many points. So that is called Queen's Proclamation. Here itself, myself mentioned 3 points. Another 1 or 2 points are there. Just to go through, you will get idea. Likewise, whatever I touched, factual wise, you go through that. Okay, if I not touched, don't study and come along with me up to 1947. At the end, by this week, Friday, you will get know up to 1947. Then again, if you go back while studying second time, you will come to know, okay, I can study in depth of this. I can study extra of this. Second reading and third reading, you go for extra information. First reading itself, if you go for information, you will be caught into trouble. As I said, even some student would be in coming of Europeans. Why? They consider I have to study inch by inch. That's all. You can't move anymore. Got it? This is what the Queen's Proclamation. Okay. Listen, Queen proclaimed it. Mere proclamation is useless. Mere proclamation is useless. That proclamation should become an act. Am I right? Queen said, no more annexation. You give assurance. You bring a bill in British Parliament and move it and pass it as an act. That's why this everything was made as a second measure. Later it was bring as a bill and was passed in an act. That is a second major change in the name of, you write, Government of India Act. India Act 1858. So first is Queen's Proclamation. Second is Government of India Act 1858. Taken? Or it is also called Better Government of India Act. Better Government of India Act 1857. Think better we will discuss this in that next class, so that we will get explore. This is what this Queen's Proclamation. So listen, under Queen's Proclamation I have given 3 to 4 points. The second is Government of India Act 1858. Under that I mentioned something. So likewise you have to discuss. You should study. Right? So with this, today I'll conclude my session. Next class, I think Tuesday is there. Tuesday we will continue it. Okay, thank you. Any doubt? $870, you may talk. 876. 873, yeah, okay.
Good
Please.
afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
This is Haipriya here. So I have certain doubts regarding today's session. So first, you said that 1858 onwards, the crown was responsible for administration of India. So
Yes.
what happened in the interim period, sir? Like 1853 to 1856. So what happened in interim period? What happened to the company in the country?
1857 revolt, during the revolt period, company. Who suppressed the revolt? Company. 1858 also company. After this Queen's Proclamation only, company's rule was come to an end. So whose period revolt happened? Company. Who suppressed the revolt? Company.
sir. So, in 1853 Charter Act, a parliamentary system was introduced in India. So, in the place where the company's officials were also included in decision making.
Come again, your voice is not clear.
Okay, okay, I'll do this again. So, in 1853 Charter Act, a parliamentary decision making system was introduced. So, in that, 9 people were there, including the company's officials. So, what happened to them, sir?
No, they continue. They continues there. They
That is, it is after it will be all after 20 finished also, do they continue?
continue. Yes. Keep it in mind. What happened is the number alone 1 plus 4 or 1 plus 5. I said 9 members. The member can be earlier company's member, hereafter crown's member. That's all. 9 is not at all reduced. The members changed.
Okay, okay, sir. Then you said Canning was there. Lord Canning was there. Why not Viceroy, sir?
Actually, I had to introduce the word viceroy. That's why I simply use the word governor general. Yeah, apart from this act, you have to use the word viceroy. That's why I deliberately avoided of using the word viceroy here. Later
Okay,
than
okay, okay, I got it. Okay, sir. And sir, this is regarding the test which we attended yesterday. Can I ask some doubts now?
just Tuesday afternoon test discussion.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Tuesday
Okay.
or
Thank
Wednesday
you, sir.
after,
That's it.
we have separated discussion. 1.5 to 2 hours is there. I will discuss each question and I will discuss it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
That is right. Next. 399.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Sir, I
Yes.
have a doubt. You said that, sir, you said that the British government, they deliberately put the religious sentiments. They should not wear the religious marks in the soldiers. Could that be seen as to prevent the religious mutiny within the sepoys, sir? Could that be taken like that, sir?
Yes, we can interpret like that also. Definitely. Because in army uniformity should be there. Uniform means all should be in one facial expression like this. That may be that interpretation. You are also right.
And sir, one more doubt is, sir, you said that the 1857 revolt was more important because Hindus and Muslims united. Because the religious sentiments was missing in the previous revolts. That was the reason why this revolt was a success. Could that be like that interpreted like this, sir? Because the Hindu-Muslim unity could that be a major factor, sir?
Yeah. That's why 1857 revolt is also important because of Hindu-Muslim unity. You can add that also.
Okay, sir. That's all, sir. Thank you, sir.
4 to 8.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, actually, in 1853 Act itself, company lost all its power. Then how it come up to 1857 revolt, sir? Actually,
Now, when did it lost all power? 1853.
then only they appoint civil service uh, directly through exam.
Apart from that, the Governor General was appointed by the company. The 1 plus 4 member or
Okay.
5 members were appointed by the company.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay,
But
sir.
in
So
civil
they
service,
not lost totally power.
no, not lost. Even competitive exam, listen, through competitive exam, appointment, but who should give salary, everything to the civil servants was the company.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Only through
sir.
competitive exam there. But through competitive
Okay.
exam, for example, even now UPSC is conducting, it's a central government organization, it is conducting exam,
Okay.
it's picking up IAS, IPS officer. Once IAS, IPS means whether central government is giving salary or state government is giving salary.
Central government.
State government, IAS, IPS.
Oh, yes, sir. Sir, state government. Yeah.
State government is giving salary. Right. State government
Oh,
cannot
yes.
say, no, IAS, IPS are not elected by me, so I would not give. Likewise.
Yes, sir. Yes. And actually, that last point in military, I don't understand, sir. You said that somewhat of sea voyage.
Okay, see, voyage means traveling in the sea. Whenever you are touching
Okay.
sea, you are traveling from Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea. That is called sea voyage. From Bay of Bengal to Singapore, that is called sea voyage.
Yes.
Okay, there is a
That's restricted to
custom.
British, sir.
Yes, that's a custom in Bengal. What's the custom is, whoever touched the sea or traveled in the sea, they became polluted.
Okay, sir.
Even we used to call, do you know, pani, kala pani. Kala pani means water itself is considered as a black.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. 256.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So my doubt is regarding modern India in part one. In Spectrum book, we have to cover that annexation of Punjabs, and in Spectrum it is like quite for 10 to 12 pages around. So we have to cover that full, or else we have to go through your notes alone. Is that okay?
Notes alone is enough. No need. Even for optional itself, I would not suggest
Okay.
that much. My notes alone is enough. Punjab.
Okay, so in Spectrum there are many part which is extra apart from which we have
Uh,
taught us.
uh,
So should we have to cover that, or else we can go
uh,
through only notes, because it's quite difficult once. If we read your notes, it's quite easy, but after going through Spectrum, we are like, I'm like totally confused. Which one should we
that's why I
follow?
said, don't study spectrum line by line, page by page. That's why I'm first day onwards I'm saying.
Oh,
So my first unit of my class
oh,
notes mean you have to search in the spectrum where whatever I have discussed. Even if it is scattered, not at all a matter. You study. Then come to second unit of my class
oh,
notes. That part you study in the spectrum. You have to search it. That alone you study.
okay. So if in between some parts are missed, means that is okay. So that's
Keep
not
it.
needed. No? We can leave it.
Yes.
Okay, sir. And sir, in modern test, last I think it is on next month. That is of modern India test discussion. It means answer writing test, last test which is been scheduled, or else
Last
it's of whole.
last test now recently conducted.
Yes.
No,
No,
recent
sir. It's gonna be conduct on August 18, I think. I'm not wrong.
part two or part
It
one.
is of whole. It's both, sir. It's both part one and part two. So that is prelims. That is MCQs questions, or else it's a mains
It will
answer
be
writing,
multiple choice question.
multiple choice question. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Next, 369.
Sir, am I audible, sir? I am Vimal, sir. Sir, my doubt is that Sipais were enjoying that privilege by serving in the company's army, but how did they overcome that privilege and they are ready to give up the post and revolt against the company, sir?
Not all sipai, some. Some sipais. For some
Okay,
sipai,
sir.
the privileges were given. For example, for me, religious sentiment may be more important than privilege. For me, my caste is more important than privilege. Such a sipai agitated.
Okay, sir. This is a general doubt, sir. Second thing is whether I can ask it, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, my doubt is that while other countries were transforming from autocratic country or colonial countries or something like that, there is some stage like civil war they have faced. But in India, we didn't have some sort of face. Why, sir?
Okay, that is the part I have to discuss in post-independence and consolidation. In that we will discuss. Because even though we have culturally diversified, what happened is we are culturally matured people, very very matured people. And if I do love my language, I do love my nearby language also, other language. If I do love my religion, I do love within the country, I'm saying other religion also. In that sense only, there is no civil war and no fraction of India till the date, because we are not materially advanced people. We are money wise not that much, but we are culturally advanced people. Cultural advancement led to the maturity. That's why No,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, another thing regarding my portal issues, sir. When I
What?
open my portal, it's coming that TNPSC Group 1 prelims. Sir.
Then you send it as a feed. Otherwise, you call it in that number. That's a number would be given. Is given or not?
Yes, sir.
You ask them.
Sir,
They will.
right now I don't have the number. If possible, please they can send it in the chat box so that I can know.
Okay, okay. I'll send it in
Yes,
the.
sir. Thank you.
Otherwise,
Yes,
if
sir.
Academy common mail ID is there, you student's mail ID you put it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Nine double five.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you explain me about the difference between extremist and terrorist in terms of freedom struggle, sir?
Extremist would never take weapon. Terrorist take weapons. That's all.
Sir, that means the extremist way is similar to like Gandhian face movement. No, sir.
Yes. Actually, extremist and terrorist want result as quick as possible. Tomorrow itself they want result. But extremist work without weapon. Terrorist work with weapon. Gandhi is entirely different.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, my second thought is regarding INA. INA, whether we consider INA as a revolutionary nationalist or is a movement.
Movement, revolutionary nationalism, it's an army, it's a multi-ventured one. It's a movement, revolutionary, it's an army, likewise. That's why I mentioned INA separately.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. 406.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, you said there was no annexation after the Crown took over the power. But what about Burma which happened throughout late 1800s?
Exactly. Burma was outside India because Burma at the time operated as a separate country.
So till 1935, Burma was still part of Indian subcontinent. That's what you said, sir.
That is after annexation only they deliberately included Burma into India.
Okay, okay.
That you are right.
Okay, and
Yes, next.
Sir, where is this Rohilkhand, sir? Sir, I understand that it's around in and around Uttar Pradesh, but was it a province?
Rohingya.
Rohilkhand.
Okay.
Where
Rohilkhand is
Khan
the
Bahadur Khan.
you if you search it definitely you will get it. The Rohilkhand that is here is the present day Uttar Pradesh. Rohilkhand would come here. Awadhi land would come. Nearby is the Rohilkhand. Actually, this part is Awadhi. UP, Awadhi, very adjacent to the Awadhi in the northern belt is the Rohilkhand region.
Yes, sir, I understand that. But whether it was a province, because why Khan Bahadur Khan protested? Whether it was it a part of Awadh or
No,
that's what
Rohilkhand
I
was
get
not
to
part of. Awadh kingdom is different. Rohilkhand, Awadh was ruled by Nawab. Rohilkhand was ruled by Rohilas. That Rohilkhand area was annexed by the British much earlier. So these two
So
are different.
Rohilkhand was not part of Mughal Empire also, because I see certain provinces like Awadh, Allahabad, Agra, but not Rohilkhand in Mughal Empire.
Correct. That was somewhat different.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. 314.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Rubesh.
Yes, Rupesh.
Sir, I mailed you regarding my doubt on Rautwari and Mahalwari. Since in both the system, EIC collects rent in terms of cash. Sir, since different currency in different empire was prevalence in India in those days, then how EIC possibly collect the taxes, sir?
Yes, exactly. In India, 1770s itself, Varanasi introduced rupees. After that, whatever the territory annexed by the British, in all the territory they introduced the rupees. So both in Rayatwari and Mahalwari, uniform currency system called rupee. In India, wherever the area annexed by the British, they used one single currency.
Oh, they abolished the previous currency which was followed by the emperors.
Yes, exactly. After their
Okay,
annexation.
sir. But okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Three double six.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, this is Sivapriya. I mailed some doubts, sir. Can you please answer when you are free, sir? Because there are some plenty of doubts.
You mailed me. Huh?
Yeah, I mailed you some 5, 6 doubts.
Actually, I answered, no? I think I
No,
answered.
sir. By last week I sent some 5 or 6 doubts. So
Okay, you do it again. You club all and send it as one mail today. I will.
yes, sure, sir. Sure, sir. And I have one more doubt, sir. Regarding this Government of India Act. Now it is that one Subhash Chandra Bose persisted the British to do that, insisted to declare that act.
1858.
Yes.
Subhash Chandra Bose was not born by the time.
Okay. Earlier you told no, sir, regarding that anti-national Raja Ram Mohan Roy cannot be considered as anti-national, and you told Subhash also can be example.
Don't mix with this. That's I said two the extreme examples. It does not mean that both are contemporary. Subhash
Oh.
belongs to 1920 30.
So that act is different.
Don't mix mingle with this.
Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir, regarding the Izara revenue farming, which was introduced by during Jalandhar Shah's period. So that has some similarity with the zamindari system introduced by British, no, sir?
Yes, somewhat. Slight different, but more or less one and the same.
Okay, okay, sir. So I can use that. I mean, for interpretation. They whatever that systems which are introduced by Indian rulers for drain of wealth, they inherited. British inherited those things. Can I add like that?
Yes, inherited and modified according to the interest of their best benefit.
Okay. Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir. Regarding this arrival of British and their approach in India. So they had already approached Africa and had colonies there. So the same approach they used here, but it failed. So they tried like flattery and diplomacy here for sustain. Whereas Portuguese failed. They implemented the same attitude which they applied in Africa, that vigorous attitude, and that's why they failed. So British modified their idea in colonization in India. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, that's a interpretation. Correct.
Okay. So already they are somewhat. India was not the first attempt for the British for colonization. Already Africa was colonized.
Africa, few part, not all.
Okay. Can I use like that, no, sir? Correct, no, sir?
You could. Few part simultaneously India.
Okay. Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir. Suppose if I have some any idea like regarding ethics, like for example, Gandhian principles are difficult to follow because it is very very ideal. So what we do is safely we put him as a Mahatma, and then we separate him from our common people. So like a God, uh, we are separating, and the same applied for Buddhism also. That Mahayana Buddhism happened because of that. So can I write like this in some notebook, and can I use in ethics paper, sir?
Yeah, definitely you can write it. That is a method, cross subject analysis. point you can write in ethics. Economic point you could write in geography. Definitely.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir. This Modern India test prelims, it is available in portal right now. We can use it. Correct,
Yeah.
sir. This online. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
One 186.
Hello, Ji.
Yes.
Ji, in 1773, this time the Supreme Court was established in India, in Bengal, sorry. That was only for British residents in India, British officers. When did this court system, judiciary system, became available to the common Indians?
Cornwallis period onwards. Varanasi period onwards, Supreme Court. But that Supreme Court jurisdiction alone is restricted to British. But lower courts are there. So many lower courts are there. Diwani Adalat, Faujidari Adalat. Likewise, so many lower courts. Lower courts jurisdictions are applied and enforceable on common man also. Here, what
This
you
lower court was bought at the 1773 Act itself.
1773 only Supreme Court at Calcutta.
Then this lower court was established afterwards by
After,
Cornwallis.
yes, gradually it was modified. Lower courts were there since ancient time, since the period of Indian. Gradually, when British came, first to Supreme Court, Cornwallis period onwards, gradually they replaced the old lower court to new lower court, Diwani Adalat, likewise Nizamat Adalat. That court's jurisdictions are applicable to all the Indian.
And that was in line with the British way of judiciary, not
British
Indian way of judiciary.
Exactly. The thing is their way.
Okay, Ji, that was my doubt. Thank you.
Because without judiciary, no law and order. Without judiciary, no society. Yes, next. Nine 4 8.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, myself Revati. My doubt is regarding the Part 1 Modern India in Afghan invasion period, like by Abdali and Nader Shah. The thing is that they just invaded India several times and they took away all the wealth, but they didn't try to establish their authority over there or a kingdom in India. Is it because of the Marathas and powerful Marathas and the presence of East India Company, or they just want the wealth from India?
Okay. Actually, India witnessed so many invasion and invaders. In the aim, motive of invaders were different. Some wanted to settle, wanted to capture. Some wanted to plunder India's wealth. One such thing is Abdali, one such a thing is Mahmud of Ghazni. Such a people, though invaded India more than one time, their intention is more plunder than to rule directly. Apart from that, nothing. Abdali's intention is to plunder. His intention not to make, because it's difficult to rule from Afghanistan of India. If you want to rule India, you should come and settle in India. Then only you could rule it. So Abdali's intention, plunder. He didn't rule India not just because of presence of Marathas and company.
Okay, so I got it out because this Abdali, he appointed a agent, his agent in the Mughal court with um, Alamgir Shah, I guess. So was there any intention? That's why I asked, sir, because he appointed a
Agent. Agent means only to control
agent.
it. Agent is
Okay.
different and directly ruling is different. If India can control USA, Modi ji may send one or two agents into the court of Donald Trump. That is controlling USA.
Okay.
Rather than removing Donald Trump, Modi ji himself is declaring, I am the Prime Minister of or President of USA. That is different.
Okay, sir. Uh, so the second thing is regarding the books. So at present, I'm following your class notes as well as the Spectrum. I read Spectrum. I didn't start reading NCRTs. So, the, what is the next step that I have to improve
That's all. No need.
in
You
case of
repeatedly study these materials.
yes,
That's
sir.
repeatedly study these books.
The your class notes and Spectrum is enough, or we have got a mail about a material from Shankar's Academy. Is it? Do we
To
want to
keep
study
it,
that also?
to keep it right. Actually, either our institute material or our spectrum. That is modern India spectrum. So if you are
Okay.
okay with spectrum, right, you keep this material as such. Right. If you are okay with the material, you keep spectrum as such. No need to touch.
Because Spectrum, I find certain some difficulty in some part, like in language,
Okay.
some areas. In that case, we can refer the institute material, right,
Yeah.
sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Like this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
One 6 7.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Hello, sir. Sir, can you please again tell your mail ID, sir? I have noted it wrong when you mentioned it, sir.
My full name. At dot p. Right. Saranamurthy.p@gmail. Gmail.com.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Double 6 3.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my name is Aradhi Ajaykumar. Hello,
Yes, Aradhi. Aradhi. Yes.
sir. My question regarding uh, I read your notes and I also have Biban Chandra's book, but there is a problem. There is some pages are missing in this book.
Which book?
Bibin Chandra's History of Modern India. And I also got yesterday the material from Shankaraya's Academy.
Okay.
I should depend on Shankaraya's book. Is it okay?
No. Our class notes. Spectrum. If you have modern India spectrum, better. Otherwise, our academy material. Either follow either of this. And whatever the chapter not available, that alone you study in NCERT. You can follow
Sir,
one
you are not and
spectrum.
can I
Modern
follow the academy book?
Shankar AS Academy. Okay, good. That's also good.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
That's also good. So that's why I said class notes based on that institute material or spectrum. Either one you follow. 12th NCERT.
Okay, sir.
If any of the topics are not there, that alone refer in NCERT. No need to study all the book cover to cover.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Zero 076.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you please explain the Kanpur revolt? As you said, Tantia Tope joined with Lakshmi Bai,
Yes.
but he also escaped to forest and he died. due to betrayal. Then when he joined Lakshmi Bai and killed in Gwalior battle,
In the
I'm
same
confused with that.
7. All happened in 6 months, 6 to 7 months. 1850.
First, he went to.
In the same year itself, he joined with Lakshmi Bai. In the same year, Lakshmi Bai was killed. In the same year, escaped to forest, betrayed, later hanged.
Oh, firstly, Lakshmi Bai was killed and then he escaped to forest.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.